When was the last time you examined something about yourself that you always thought was true? As we grow up from childhood, there are some things that most of us will examine once we gain enough of a worldly understanding. The common things we have a tendency to change are things like our religion, political affiliation, diets, and even more importantly, how we decide to raise our kids. We do these things because at some point within our lives we come across some information or we gain some other perspective that gives us enough of an insight that we question things that we know or think we understand. On the other hand, some people go through their entire lives believing things about themselves that other people have told them. Sounds kind of silly, doesn't it? Someone else telling you about you when they're not you. They don't have your experiences, they don't have your knowledge. So honestly, what do they know? Let me put this into perspective for you. You ever watched a Disney movie as a small child? I'm not talking an MCU, I'm talking about the cartoons, the musicals. Well, if you're anything like me, you've probably seen the same one hundreds of times, know all the words to all the songs, and if you're not embarrassed to admit it, you even like to sing along. But now consider as an adult, when you watch that very same movie 10 or 15 years later, do you now get all the dirty jokes, the sexual innuendos, the adult content that went right over your head as a kid? Well, why is that? What's changed? Because the movie hasn't, but you have. In the years that passed, you have not only grown older, wiser, smarter, but now you know more about the world around you. Your perspective of things is very different now than it was 10 or 15 years ago. But the real thing to consider is that your perspective today is different than it was as early as yesterday. How many people have gone through their childhood consistently being told that they're stupid, ugly, worthless, never going to amount to anything? Well, when we hear these things too many times, we have a tendency to start to believe them, especially when these things are being told to us by a guardian or parental figure. They're the adult, they should know, right? This is a truly unfortunate event that happens to a lot of people because they're listening to the ignorance of others. We hear far too much negative about ourselves and not near as many positives. So it's so important for you to analyze yourself and see if these things are even true or not. And when you do this, one of two things is going to happen for you. Either one, you're going to cement the things that you know are true, and you're going to reinforce those hopefully positive beliefs. But even if you find out you have some flaws, you can now start to correct them because it's easier for you to see them and eliminate your own bias. Or two, you're going to find out that these things were never true in the first place, and now you have the corrected knowledge to move forward and grow. You see, it's really easy for people to criticize, to be on the outside looking in, to say that this is what's wrong with you. So start to re-examine yourself. These things that you think to be true. You literally have nothing to lose and can gain a world full of insight as a result. This is a win-win situation no matter what happens. See, when you know more about yourself, no one else can tell you who you are. Only you get to live your life. Only you get to know who you truly are. And once you know that, you get to be the best person that you can. So stay as much of an inspiration as I know that you can be. My name is Curran. Thanks for listening.